4th of July, 2017. John Day, Oregon. We arrive at the Rainbow Gathering, and the first issue is, it's a real split bag. Half of its inhabitants are hippies that only want to create a self-sufficient bohemian society and truly care enough to make it happen. The other half is festy kids who use the area as their own personal plug squat party. This is where the problems arise. The second issue is not being allowed to openly film. This kept me from being able to display the entire scope of Rainbow on tape. But there's YouTube videos on the subject if you really care that much. The third issue I noticed was a lack of proper food and water supplies. This led to infighting amongst the different Rainbow tribes. Over 30,000 hippies in this forest. And what started as a beautiful, peaceful commune quickly became a battle for resources. It was like hippie PUBG. The entire event's water was also contaminated, which led to many people coming down with dysentery. The contamination stemmed from people defecating in the river in which salmon were currently spawning. And at some point between here and there, the hippies began drinking the water from the polluted source, and this led to the devastation of the salmon population the following months, alongside the demise of many acid trips and bowel movements. I would watch my friends and others drop like flies to this rampant plague, and I was like cabin fever, just watching everyone get sick one at a time, slowly picking us off, wondering when your turn would be next. My pig belly would prove to be too powerful for the bug, and I drank the water without fear of consequence, while doing my best to see to the infected. There are several camps and tribes scattered around Rainbow. Some notable ones include Velociraptor Kitchen, Food Not Bombs, Krishna Camp, Lost Boys Camp, home of which gave 1 in 5 people chlamydia at this year's event, and our camp, the now Texas Camp, just to name a few. After running into Arturo and the other fellow travelers from Texas, we decided to establish Texas Camp. Our camp was located west of Foxhole, right next to Shanty Cakes. Texas Camp consisted of several Dallasites, Austinians, and Fort Worthers, and any other South Central belle fortunate enough to stumble upon our path. We commemorated the birth of Texas Camp by indulging in a tarot reading. Caden blesses the cards with the Holy Saint Death statue and a human femur. We burn amber, Palo Santo, frankincense, and sage over the cards in an effort to give them that extra juice. The spread is massive. Caden asks the deck what the future holds for our new tiny sovereign state in these piney woods. He then begins to explain the tarot while our friend Lee interjects with a certain deeper insight to some of the cards' meanings. Lee is the fellow with the glasses and the tan shirt and the dreads. He wasn't a fan of the camera, unfortunately, and eventually dipped out a few days later to rejoin Lost Camp and end up with chlamydia. We continued to debate and reflect over the meanings of the ideas represented in the massive spread at our feet. And during this, Arturo interjected with an interesting point that stuck with me forever. No matter what you draw in tarot or astrology, you'll see things that pertain to your life or find a way to correlate it with personal experiences. He said, it should all be taken with a grain of salt, but that doesn't take any validity from the practices. And it doesn't mean you can't get some freaky accurate drawings. It was shortly after this, Caden looks over to me and asks if I would consider abandoning my return to Dallas and joining him on a perilous trek to the SoCal server. Now, as enticing as this offer was, something struck me as odd about Caden. I just couldn't shake the gut feeling this was a bad idea. To add insult to injury, I missed Yolanda dearly. There's no way Olivia would be willing to drive back to Dallas alone. I expressed my sincerest apologies, respectfully declined the offer. Olivia cemented this later on the next day, letting me know there was no way she would let me go home without her.